You've been doing it wrong, all of you. The searching, the watching, the late nights falling down rabbit holes, convinced you were getting closer to the truth. You weren't. You were walking into traps. Traps designed by people who understood something you didn't. There's a reason some people dig into conspiracies their whole lives and find nothing. There's a reason others stumble onto something real within months. It's not luck. It's mistakes. Mistakes that get you flagged. Mistakes that get you mocked. Mistakes that get you noticed by the wrong people. Tonight, we're not exploring a conspiracy. Tonight, we're giving you the map. 7 deadly mistakes that conspiracy hunters make. Mistakes that cost them everything, their credibility, their safety, sometimes their sanity. And if you're listening, if you've ever felt the pull of the unknown, you need to hear this. Because the first rule of finding the truth, don't let the truth find you first. Before we descend into these warnings, I have a small request. If this voice has ever guided you through the dark, please consider subscribing to this channel. Think of it as a safeguard, a way to ensure these maps remain accessible when you need them most. Now, let that intention drift. Your only task now is to listen and to learn. There's a pattern that repeats in every conspiracy community. Someone gets interested, they start reading. They find forums, YouTube channels, blogs. They feel that spark the thrill of discovery. Then, slowly, something changes. They become certain, too certain. They stop questioning. They start seeing connections everywhere. They push friends away. They lose jobs. They spiral. And the truth they were searching for? It was never there. Not because it doesn't exist, but because they walked the wrong path. They made the mistakes. The mistakes we're about to name. Some of these will seem obvious. Some will surprise you. All of them separate the seekers from the lost. Listen carefully. Your curiosity depends on it. Mistake number 1, certainty. It feels like strength, doesn't it? To know, to be sure. To look at a confusing world and say, I understand what's really happening. But here's the truth the wisest hunters know. Certainty is the enemy of discovery. The moment you decide you know the answer, you stop looking, you stop questioning, you stop listening. You become a filter, not a seeker, rejecting anything that doesn't fit your story, embracing anything that does. This is how smart people end up believing absurd things, not because they're stupid, because they got certain. The real hunters, they live in questions. They hold theories lightly, like butterflies ready to let them go if new evidence appears. They know that the moment you clutch too tight, you crush what you're holding. So here's the rule: doubt everything, including yourself, especially yourself. If your theory can't survive questioning, it deserves to die. If it can, it'll still be there tomorrow. Mistake number 2, going in alone. There's a romantic image of the conspiracy hunter, the lone wolf, the truth seeker, the one who sees what others don't. It's also a death sentence. Not literally, usually, but socially, psychologically, intellectually. When you isolate yourself, you lose the most important tool a seeker has, the people who disagree with you. The friend who says, that doesn't make sense. The skeptic who asks for sources. The stranger who offers an alternative explanation. These aren't enemies. They're safeguards. They're the walls that keep you from walking off a cliff. Every major truth that's ever been uncovered was uncovered by communities. By people who argued, debated, challenged each other. The lone wolf. They don't find truth. They find echo chambers. Just smaller ones with only one voice theirs. So here's the rule. Find your people, not people who agree with you. People who will argue with you. People who will tell you when you're wrong. Because if no one ever tells you you're wrong, you probably are. Mistake number 3, falling in love with your sources. It happens to everyone. You find a website, a YouTuber, a writer who seems to have all the answers. They speak with confidence. They connect dots you never saw. They make you feel smart for listening, and slowly, without noticing, you stop fact-checking them because they feel like family, like the one person who gets it. But here's the hard truth. Every source is flawed. Every source has blind spots, biases, agendas. The ones who seem most certain, they're often the most dangerous. The best sources aren't the ones who give you answers. They're the ones who give you tools, who show you how to find answers yourself, who cite their own sources, who admit when they're speculating. The real red flag: anyone who tells you they're the only one you can trust, that's not a protector. That's a prison warden. So here's the rule: diversify. Read your enemies. Read people you disagree with. Read the boring academic papers, not just the flashy videos. The truth doesn't need hype. It just needs to be true. Mistake number 4. Seeing patterns everywhere. Human brains are pattern detection machines. It's why we survived. It's why we can look at the night sky and see bears and hunters and gods. But that same gift becomes a curse when it runs unchecked. Because when you look for patterns long enough, you'll find them, even when they're not there. Especially when they're not there. This is how people connect the JFK assassination to the moon landing, to 9/11s, to the pandemic. Not because there's a real connection. Because once you start drawing lines, you can connect anything to anything. The number 23 appears everywhere. Coincidence? Or proof of something? It's coincidence. That's what randomness looks like. That's what the universe does when no one's orchestrating anything. The real conspiracy isn't always a web. Sometimes it's just a thread. So here's the rule: before you connect dots, make sure the dots exist. Make sure they're not just figments of your pattern-hungry brain. Ask yourself, is this connection real, or did I want it to be real? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, you're doing it right. Mistake number 5, letting your emotions lead. Conspiracies are emotional. They tap into fear, anger, betrayal. They make you feel alive, feel righteous, feel like you're finally seeing what's been hidden. And that feeling? It's addictive. The problem is, emotions are terrible guides to truth. Fear makes you believe things you'd never accept calmly. Anger makes you trust anyone who shares your rage. Betrayal makes you see enemies everywhere. The deeper you go, the more you feel. The more you feel, the deeper you go. It's a spiral. And at the bottom of that spiral, there's no truth, just more emotion, more fear, more anger. The best hunters know how to step back, to feel the feeling, acknowledge it, and then ask, is this helping me see clearly, or is it clouding my vision? If you notice your heart racing when you read something, pause. If you feel rage rising when someone disagrees, pause. If you can't sleep because you're too busy being outraged, pause. The truth will wait. It doesn't need your adrenaline. So here's the rule. Feel everything. Trust nothing your feelings tell you about what's real. Your heart is for loving. Your head is for seeking. Don't mix them up. Mistake number 6, burning bridges. It starts small. You share a theory with a friend. They don't believe you. You feel hurt, dismissed. You stop sharing. Then it's family. They worry about you. They ask questions. You feel attacked. You pull away. Then it's coworkers. Then old friends. Then anyone who doesn't get it. Before you know it, you're alone. Surrounded only by people who agree with you. Online strangers who validate everything you say. And here's the tragedy. You've just made yourself impossible to help. Because when you're alone with your beliefs, no one can challenge you. No one can offer alternatives. No one can pull you back when you go too far. The people who love you, they're not the enemy. They're your tether to reality. They're the ones who will notice when you're changing, when you're hurting, when you're lost. Cut them off and you're adrift. So here's the rule. Protect your relationships more than your theories. If a belief costs you people you love, the belief is the problem, not them. You can always find new information. You can't always find new people who've known you your whole life. Don't trade love for certainty. It's a bad deal every time. Mistake number 7, forgetting to live. This is the quietest mistake, the one no one warns you about. You get so focused on what's hidden that you forget what's right in front of you. The sunset you didn't watch because you were reading forums. The conversation you didn't have because you were watching videos. The meal you didn't taste because you were scrolling. The conspiracy becomes your life, and your life, it slips away. Here's the irony. If there is a conspiracy, if there are forces trying to control humanity, what do you think they want most? They want you distracted. They want you isolated. They want you so focused on the grand narrative that you forget the small one, the one playing out in your own home, your own heart. The best way to win against any system: live well, love someone, grow something, make something, be present. Because a person who's fully alive, fully engaged, fully here, they're harder to control, harder to frighten, harder to manipulate. So here's the rule: log off, not forever. Just enough to remember what reality feels like, the real reality. The one with trees and laughter and skin and sleep. The secrets will still be there when you get back, and you'll be stronger for having left. 7 mistakes: certainty, isolation, source worship, pattern madness, emotional flooding, bridge burning, forgetting to live. Maybe you've made some of them. Maybe you're making them right now. That's okay. The point isn't perfection. The point is awareness. The point is learning to hold your beliefs gently, like a bird you don't want to crush. The point is staying connected to people who disagree, to sources that challenge, to a life beyond the search. Because here's the deepest truth of all: the greatest conspiracy isn't out there. It's in here. In the mind that convinces itself it knows, when it's really just afraid of not knowing. In the heart that seeks enemies because it's easier than seeking understanding. In the soul that forgets to live because living is harder than hiding in theories. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, I invite you to let go, not of curiosity, never of curiosity, but of the need to be certain, the need to be right, the need to have it all figured out. Let the questions float, let the mysteries breathe. Let yourself just be here in the dark, safe, alive, present. That's not a mistake. That's the whole point. Thank you for being here tonight. If these warnings resonated, if they helped you see your own path more clearly, please consider leaving a like. It helps others find their way to this gentle space. And if you've made any of these mistakes, welcome to the club. We all have. The trick is learning, not perfection. Sleep well, stay curious, stay connected. And remember, the truth will wait. Good night.